That's actually the one we started with. Remember when we did A minor? We didn't start from here. Right? We didn't start from here. Exactly. So we just went down a mode. Down a shape. So we had that G minor. Or sorry, A minor pentatonic, but the fifth mode. Cool? That's the fifth mode of the minor pentatonic scale. And over E7, just go ahead and follow the logic now. From E7, that's a 5 chord in the key of A. And we're doing Locrian with a flat 5. So that means G sharp minor pentatonic, flatting the 5, right? So that's this one. But if you're going to bring it down a mode, you're going to do F sharp instead of G sharp. Okay? Now the ordinary shape without flatting the 5 looks like our first shape does, except we're starting on F sharp instead of G. Cool? Now which one of those notes are we going to have to flat? The secret is you got to remember what chord we're playing over. We're playing over an E7 chord. So which one of those notes would we have to flatten? The E7 chord cannot have an E flat or a D sharp note. Can't have a D sharp, it's got to have a D note. All right, so if we go through this and we play a D sharp, then we know we're in trouble. So we got F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp. That's the note we can't have. That's a major 7, and we need to be a flat 7. Right? Now let's try avoid using any open strings here. We'll have this instead. Cool? Alright, and that means the next string, we're only going to have one note. Alright. And then we go back to our original pentatonic. That's it. Okay, now the next up should be a D sharp normally. And and we can't have a D sharp because that's too close to an E. Exactly, so we flat that. And then we can finish the high string just the same way we had the low string. That's a pretty cool one, man. A little tricky, a little different. I like to do this fingering where there's kind of a stretch, but right after this, I go back to index, middle, ring. As opposed to doing all this between your ring finger and pinky. That's the way I like to do it. I'll do it real slow. Right here's where things really get kind of interesting. That's the stretch, then your pinky, and then I shift back up with my index finger. and just play the rest. The hardest part is the stretching part. Like, this is pretty easy. We've done that a lot. Remember, it's all over a E7 chord. That's actually cool, man. Like, normal, how many times you play and you'd be like, you know, you're doing kind of a over a E7. And here you've got, oh, which of course then the secret is not to just play it that way. Hopefully you can give it a little bit more style, you know. Yeah, it really actually, it would be really good to do it over a jam track, because what will happen is you'll forget that this is an E chord. You know, you'll be playing like, and pretty soon you'll be playing like, you'll be playing like, that's the root. Or, now it just so happens that that note is the third of the chord we're actually playing over. No, if you're talking about just doing a 12-bar blues, then you wouldn't have an E flat 7. Doing this trick, well, there will only be 5 patterns, so that's good to know. One of them is super... Well, one of them was the first one you ever did, which was just the ordinary pattern where you flat the 5. All right, so that's starting from the root. Well, your first mode of the minor pentatonic, the third of the chord, yeah, and then this one is the 5th note of the pentatonic, which is like what we started with, except now we're flat in the appropriate note. So let's walk through it all. We had an A minor or A7 chord, so we do the 5th pattern, starting on the 3rd fret. Go ahead and do that. Exactly. And then we have a D7, so we're going to go to the F sharp and play the minor pentatonic flatting the 5. That's the first mode of the minor pentatonic. Yeah. All right, then we go back to the A7. So you go to the first thing you played, the 5th mode of A minor pentatonic. Good, and now we have the E7. So you're going to do the 5th mode of that. Where would you start? Nope, because A is the 1 chord, and the 1 chord has to be major. Well, here's how you think about it. E7's the 5 of A. That's the 1 chord. We're doing the Locrian pentatonic trick, which is where you do the pentatonic flat the 5. That means you would do G sharp minor pentatonic. But if you're going to be staying in the position you've been in this whole time, then you would do the 5th mode.